Hey, today's morning medicine is Aqua Marina, which is seawater. Yesterday was morphine. The alkaloid of morphine today is seawater. What can you cure with seawater? It's taken from the shore and from the depth, it says, and all that stuff. And probably a drop filtered. Let's see, depth below the surface, filtered and diluted with twice as much pure fresh water. So whatever water they gather, they add twice as much fresh water and then they potentize it. Aquamarina is a great. Oh, what the heck? Oh, it went. Oh man. Oh well. Son of a gun. I said I gotta fix this stand, and it finally went kaplooey on me. Alright, so let's try to get through this. Potentized seawater in weakness, lack of reaction. Symptoms are worse by the seaside for the treatment of disorders of skin, kidneys. There goes that mucus again. Skin, kidneys, and intestines. Lymphadenitis. Swelling up lymph nodes. Goiter, lupus, eczema, varicose ulcers, scrofulous disorders of children, gastroenteritis, and tuberculosis. So it's good for all those kind of things. This might be a short one. I gotta try to keep hold of this. Let me see if I can get that to a point where it's good. All right, that'll be good. All right, let's go. Aquamarina, and it's dark in here, man. I'm surprised that the computer showing it that light. Seawater, blood purifier, and vitalizer. So it obviously pushes things out of the blood. Any kind of any. Oh, it did it again. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna have to stay just like that. Ah, Lord. Okay, so effects of residence by the sea, seaside, skin, kidneys. I said all that. Seaside movement, uh, worse by the seaside, worse movement, worse pressure, worse heat, better eating, better rest, intellectual concentration difficult, agitated, and what? Let's see. Okay, anxiety, worse talking, and the agitation is improved between 2 and 4 p.m. So anytime they're agitated, it's 2 to 4, go talk to them because they won't be so agitated. um, but it's the anxiety is worse by talking, so they don't want to be probably want to be around people. Pains 11 p.m. Now that's they have pains. Aquamarina has pains at 11 p.m. Sulfur has hungry at 11 p.m. No matter what. So yeah, 11 p.m. No, 11 a.m. So there's a periodicity with these medicines. That pain will come on 11 p.m. at night, and it's worse when they get pressure. They push on it, or any kind of agitation. I guess any kind of agitation, bouncing or moving or whatever. Spasmodic colitis. So they're having spasms in the abdomen from upset stomach stuff for stomach colitis. pain in rib, pain in the side of the ribs, vertebral with the back, vertebral column affected. Sometimes trying to say these words. The but any of the vertebrae is messed up. This is aquamarina would help it out. Pain in back of back, neck, back, thorax, which is the chest, stiff, leaving a prickling. It's heavy and prickling. So this whole thing's falling apart today. Oh Lord. Well, that's what it is when you're live, buddy. Pain in ribs, morning, rising, worse chest. That's that sternum or thorax type of stuff going on there. Pain in ribs, morning, rising, worse pressure, pain in tips of shoulder blades in the evening. So in the evening, they got pains back there between the shoulder blades, and their vertebrae column is all messed up. Stinging pain, right ear in the evening. Transient stitches. So stitches come, stitches go, but they got these stinging pains. I would think of apis with that. That's a keynote of apis, stinging. Let's see. No eyes. Face ache. Left side, upper and lower jaw, extended to the lower right side. They have a pain is acute like a toothache, and it's worse for cold water. If they drink cold water, it makes that pain worse. No female appetite. Even though female, they got I think it was menorrhagia, something like that, in young ladies, but they didn't put nothing there. Appetite and thirst increased, especially at 11:30 a.m. Oh, there's the one I was looking for. And they have they get hungry. That's interesting. Aqua Marina gets hungry at 11:30 a.m. Sulfur is at 11 a.m. They just get the sinking feeling, and they got to eat. This one's appetite and thirst is increased, even after eating. If they just ate at 10 or something, 11:30, they're hungry again. They have to eat and drink at that time. Headache, vertigo, aggravated by pressure. They have a buzzing in the ear. So any pressure, that headache, you put pressure on it, uh, it aggravates that headache. Eating, worse eating. Let's see, eating, heat, movement improved after sleep. So any pressure, eating, heat, movement, all that kind of stuff, and that's the same thing in movement. Where was that? The other one, it's agitated. Anytime it's agitated, that's a movement. Anytime they get movement, that aggravates the situation, and it improves after sleep. They wake up and they're doing better. Psychosomatic complaints. So that's, stuff in the mind that's, basically emotional stuff, grief, whatever's going on. Psychosomatic complaints. And then they get neuralgic pains down the right temple. It's acute and it vanishes. Then it appears 10 or 30 minutes in left side of neck. So that's a weird one, man, right there. That it vanishes. They got this neuralgic pain in the right temple, and then it vanishes, and then it reappears 10 or 30 minutes on the left side of the neck. So, yeah, very interesting. From the right, then it goes to the left. Those are transient pains going on. And sometimes when you have those pains, they're not connected. Your right elbow hurts, and then, all of a sudden the left elbow hurts. There's no nerve connecting them, so there's something in the vital force, the vital energy that's doing that. No kidney, no heart. Limbs, pain, right arm and elbow to fingertip. Pain in lower limbs, okay. Arm to fingertip, elbow to fingertip, lower limbs. Pain exerting pressure on muscles. They got trembling of limbs. So any pressure, they don't like pressure in anything. No pressure on the abdomen, no pressure on the muscles, no pressure on something else, I forget. Slight hepatic deficiency in the liver. So the liver, they're having liver problems. So that would probably be the center of the case. Am I still on target here? Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, so they got liver, that might be that liver stuff, that hepatic stuff may be the center of what's going on with this person. Early tuberculosis. So this could help with tuberculosis in the early stages. Loeffler's syndrome, which is a parasite and an infection of cities in the lungs. So a parasite in the lungs. Morning cough with cold water and watery sputum. Cold, watery sputum coming out. And it even says in there white or something like that. Rusty, dirty taste in the back of the throat, and they have difficult expectoration. So as you'll see in the nose, there's a lot of things going on there too. Coming from the sinuses down into the throat, post-nasal drip and all that. Libido maintained, but sexual impotence for impotence for a male. So they're ready to go, but yeah, they're shooting blanks. Seminal discharge followed by weakness and need to stretch muscles. So they have a bad time when they're having sex and whatever going on. White yellowish mucus in the mouth. So they even said like pearl white, I think this one said. Lips are dry, split in the middle. So anybody has a split in the middle, that would lead you to a few different medicines. Didn't look up to see which ones they were. Anyways, spitting of blood during burning in mouth. So that spitting of blood could be the tuberculosis type of thing, or some kind of lung infection like Loeffler's syndrome, and they have burning in their mouth. Coryza is watery, flow blocking left nostril. So it's flowing out of the left nostril pretty good. And they have post-nasal drip with thick fetid mucus. Fetid is smelly mucus. And it's good for rhinitis, you know, that nose infection stuff going on. And if you got thick mucus like that, that's usually what's going on. You got some kind of infection going on up there. Heaviness in the rectum, pain before and during defecation, even with soft stools. Anal burning, there's burning in the mouth, burning in the anus, bleeding, evacuation. So when they evacuate, they have bleeding in the anus down there. Um, Fetid smells, no fetid. Okay, so but defecation, even they have a pain before they go and after they go, and then they have burning and bleeding afterwards. Itching of toes and inner thighs and bends of arms and legs. So, you know, anywhere the bends of the arms and the legs and in between the toes, it's interesting. There's itching in those places that are kind of not always exposed, I'd say. Vascular rash on face. I don't know if I wiped something out there, but they got a vascular eruptions on the face. Anyways, fetid sweating. They're sweating on their hands and their feet, and their axillae, which is their armpits, is very smelly. Blue skin, sayonara. So, anyways, that's bluing of the skin. They're not getting. That's why it says a good blood blood purifier. Blah blah. And you know they're not getting the oxygen they need. They get that cyanosis or the bluing of the skin. All right, epigastric pain aggravated by pressure. Don't like pressure, as we say, and hot applications. So aggravated by pressure and any heat. Nausea sensation with eructations of wind. So they're burping a lot. You know, the other one is flatulence, is the other end. Pain on swallowing extended the ear and temples. So there's that infection thing going on all up in there. Congested, especially left, and trickling mucus. So the left side of the nostril with trickling mucus side, and it's congested over there. They got a sore throat after eating. Pain in right tonsils, improved by pressure. So they like pressure on the neck. By pressure and sleep, feels like small substance in throat causing cough, but doesn't relieve. So they got this, feels like there's something in there. They try to cough it out, it don't relieve it. The other ones are like they got a fish bone in there. Some different remedies. This is how you would tell them apart. Fish bone, and the other one is what's the other one? Fish bone. Oh, feels like it's just plugged up. I think it's like lachesis, you know, and they don't want nothing around their throat. No pressure at all about their throat. So you would have to determine between certain medicines which one is the indicated remedy. I was on that call with the homeopath from India that did the cancer of the ear yesterday, and he was doing cancer of the, what the heck is it? I'm trying to hold on to this thing. Cancer of the, I forget, hypertension. I forget. He did two cases. Shrikant, Talari Shrikant. But anyways, when he did that, he basically was, you know, he talked about taking this guy through this cancer. What did he use? Bryonia. And the guy was doing good, and he was doing good. He had him for months or years, I don't know, but he just kept going with the bryonia. And when the guy came back, he's doing well, and somehow he went in for something else, I guess. And he told the doctor that he had this cancer, and they said, "Oh, you've been doing you're doing well on homeopathy. That's great, but let's do some chemo or whatever they were going to do to him, and you know, just to get rid of all of it." Okay, so he went in and he did that, and the guy said his health went down real quick after that, and that, you know, that, yeah, of course it will. You know, you're poisoning the person, and the person gets, the vitality gets sicker and weaker, you know. And he eventually said he died, and that just aggravates me to see people have to go through such a thing, you know, because that's the protocol. That's the thing you should do. That's what everybody does, you know, rather than changing diet, doing different things in our life. And like this doctor was using, this guy was using homeopathic medicine and getting him through it. So, but it happens a lot, and it happens in this country as well. So the comments: seeping of fetid mucus, worse when getting up in the morning, sore throat with sensation of foreign substance in throat, pain in the right tonsils, aggravated after eating, ameliorated by pressure and during the night. So that's at sleep and better pressure on the throat. Acute paroxysmal neuralgic pain in right anterior portion of the head all the afternoon and evening from inhalation of atomizers. So what's an atomizer? That's one of them things, you got sinus stuff and you're sniffing that stuff in to clear up your sinuses and that, and this guy gets a headache, or this person gets a headache, and now they need a medicine, and this apparently Aqua Marina helped that out. So that is morning medicine. I gotta fix my pole. Yeah, one day I'll have a decent setup. I want to get a camera, two cameras, one where what I'm going to do is have it on like a board or something and teach, and then I'm going to have one on a book that we can go through and say, oh, okay, this is the medicine, this is that, you really don't need to see my face. I just pop in here to aggravate you. All right, that's morning medicine. You can Alka Marina. And there's another, the next ones aren't that great. There, let's see, Aqua Pura, Vulgaris. Aqua Pura is just alchemaical water, he calls it. And Columbine, which is a plant, I think. And the other one, Aqualogia vulgaris, is another plant. Yeah, there's some small medicines here that probably ain't. Why am I doing them? That's what I'm wondering that myself. I should just skip them. But they're in the Materia Medica and they're there because they have some value, and you never know. You could be trying a bunch of different remedies and nothing's happening. And this one seems indicated. It's not these aren't proven out very good. Some of them are just come from people taking it herbally. They'll give you the symptoms, and that can be just as fine to, you never know. You got a case that's like, you got somebody that just, you can't figure it out, like my wife. I'm I don't know. The one medicine's, and it's just a small rubric. It's not even a 3, it's a 1, and it says feels like walking on a pea, and that's what's in her, she got a bump on her foot that causes her to walk bad and causes her to have pain in her other leg. Now, phosphoric acid seemed to settle it down. Did I ameliorate it? Like just take away the pain, like I did with the lady with the wheelchair. I asked her if she'd take a medicine. What's wrong? Her hip? Okay, I'll give give her Escalus. If it wasn't the right medicine, it would do nothing. But the next day she's standing out of the chair, saying, my God, what'd you give me? My pain's 90% gone. I was like, don't do nothing, lady, because I don't know what's going on with you. I just relieved your pain. Same here. Did I just relieve the pain with the phosphoric acid? She drinks soda pop. That has phosphoric acid in it. So things like that, you got to take into consideration. This doctor from India, or this, I don't even think he's a doctor. He's just a homeopath, I don't, yeah. And the homeopaths there are trained. They go through all the ritual and all. I started with Banerjee, and you got to do. They want you to eventually do autopsies and stuff. I'm like, I ain't getting that crazy with it. You know what I mean? You died, buddy. You died. That's what I mean. Anyways, so what do you prescribe on again? The anger. This guy, nobody believed his integrity. They thought the company was having troubles. They thought he was robbing it, and he was trying to be as upstanding as possible, and that really angered him for them questioning his integrity, basically. And that anger is what he basically, of course, you take the anger, stomach anger. What was going on with him? He, then you got to go with this foods. The first one, she loves spicy food, so you got to look up a remedy that says love spicy foods. Then you got to look up a remedy. Then under the same one, loves spicy foods, but has, what cancer did she have? Something with the stomach. Anyways, or intestines. I don't know. But even though she loves it, it harms her. And there's rubrics in the materia medic, or the repertoire, that says um, loves what loves this, whatever, whether it's sweets, spice, whatever, but it aggravates. You know what I mean? So Anyways, that's how you do it. You're basically looking at what's going on with them. You want their food, their head, their mood, their emotions. What's, what brings this stuff on? Where's this all coming from? And then, like I said, like this one here is undoubtedly a liver, hepatic deficiency. So stuff, lung stuff, so whatever's the chief complaint, whether it's the lungs, the liver, pain in the back, whatever, something like that, you'd consider that as the center of the case. And then when you consider that, now you go in with a mind that you need some liver remedies, remedies that are, and you can also give the person tonic, some a plant tonic for the liver as a food. And then from there, you can go in and continue to try different medicines to see which one brings up the vitality. The food for the organ will help lift up the vitality, but it won't take away the problem usually. So that's why you go in and you have to hit it with a homeopathic remedy. So, uh, yeah, man, I'm tired of holding this, and you're probably tired of listening to me ramble. But yeah, it's good to get this, to see these cases and to listen to them, because it helps you to understand and even to read them. I read a lot of cases out of um, Robin's books and stuff, and that helps you to get an idea of how you should look at a case, what you should be looking for, how to ask the questions, different things like that. So, and that's what I want to do in my community. I want to bring people in, and once they get them familiar with the basics of homeopathy and different medicines and how things work and all that stuff, then I want to take them in to show them how to start looking at a person and seeing what's going on with them. So, all right, that's morning medicine. You can age, but you don't have to get old.